I'm excited for tonight's call to be able to interview one of our superstars that have really been, I would say, VIP, most improved, incredible month so far. But it's definitely due to her discipline, dedication, and just how she's been moving. So I'm super proud of her. But Samika, if you could just go ahead and unmute yourself, please. And if you have the capability, yep, video, awesome. Right, I will. So I just want to take people kind of back through the story and of what's been going on with you, because you've had an incredible month, as that's already been showing in the numbers right now. So month after month after month, you've definitely been improving. And it's been exciting to watch. And I love being in the office with you because we get to not only watch your growth, but I'm also learning from the things that you're doing. So I'm just going to kind of go over your numbers of what's been happening, because I know you've been doing this for about 6 months now, right? But let me just, if you don't know, let me just remind you, February, your issue paid numbers were $2,263. Okay. In March, you were at $11,854. And April, you're at $7,161. But just a reminder of what it's looking like right now. We are at the third week of this month so far, and we're at 15,902.
And the month is even over.
Right. So you're definitely on pace to do over $20,000 for this month. And I know that's gonna happen. Just because you are the first person at the office, you beat me to the office. So that says a lot. Yeah. So let's first, can you share with everybody what your background is and what you've been doing?
Okay. So again, guys, my name is Samika Williams. So my background is I was more of a college student, right? And so so me and Chantel met each other years ago, like in 2009, right? So me and Chantel reconnected years later when she was with a network marketing company. And so from there, Chantel always shared with me all the things that she do, right? It doesn't matter what she do, Chantel's gonna share it. And so Chantel was sharing this with me because I've been doing Uber, doing Instacart, and doing all kind of other stuff, and then basically doing like network marketing things. And so Chantel was the secret agent, right? So Chantel, like you see it all on social media. I was like, what the hell are they doing? So basically Chantel finally shared it with me, and so then from there, that's why I was like, okay, so like this. So basically this right here can really make us some money, right? Because everything else was like really cool, but that's more of a long game. And this one was more like, I can make instant money. So I was like, okay, I'm in. So I was just super excited about that.
Perfect. So yeah, I know that we've all done quite a few different ventures together, but it is amazing that this one has been proven that you don't have to have any special skill set. It's that if you're willing to do the work, you can get paid here. Exactly. But so take me to like the beginning of your day. What time do you wake up in the morning? Because again, you've always had this level of discipline in everything that you do. That's definitely admirable. So take us through what the beginning of your days look like, because you're the one at the office at like 6 something in the morning. So let's start there. What time do you wake up?
Okay. So brace yourself. So my alarm goes off at 3, 3:30, and 4. Okay. So my goal every morning is to wake up between 3 and 3:30. Ever since I've been doing this, I don't go to bed like like I'm supposed to. So I tend to get up between 3:30 and 4 every morning. And then every morning I tend to meditate between 3:30 and 4. I meditate, and then basically around 4, that's when I'm actually getting up and getting ready to actually prepare myself to go to the gym, because I go to the gym at 5 in the morning. And then after that, I may do about 1 or 2 classes. On Mondays, I do like one class, which is like more of a boxing class that I'm taking, and then like the other one is more like like kind of hard cardio. And then I tend to get to the office around 7:30-ish on Mondays. And then on Thursday, I do more of a kickboxing class. The same time I wake up every morning, between 3 to 4, go to the gym. Mm-hmm. Then I get to the gym by 6:30, depending on traffic, it may be close to 7. But yeah, I do that every single day, every day.
So, I mean, not even, how you do some things is how you do everything. And
Mhm.
it definitely shows up in all aspects of your life too. And just knowing you from through the years and just watching you, like, it's been amazing just to even, on the health side of things, how you've really been able to take control of your health.
Mhm.
You've lost a lot of weight,
Mhm.
looking amazing. And it's
Thank
just
you.
been, and you're not only disciplined and in your work or your workouts, but you guys, you should see this big gallon of water she carries around with her everywhere. So she's
Mhm.
definitely the poster child of how you do some things is how you do everything, and she definitely gives it 110%. So what are you doing as far as like your, let's start with leads.
Mhm.
So how many leads are you buying to be prepared, or how do you prepare for your dial day? How many leads are you buying, and what vendors are you using?
So I how I prepare for my down days, I tend to try to pick up leads. Like some of them throughout the week, because sometimes you can catch leads on the CRM, on like run days, right? When people are running and they use it's like not a lot of people is on the CRM, so you can actually pick up leads like that way. Sometimes I'll pick up leads maybe like the night before, or sometimes I'll pick up leads that morning because I am waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So now everybody about to get up at 3:30 to get some leads. But and I try to do it the night or and I try to have it all set up the night before. So I'm not going to the office actually loading up the leads, buying the leads. I set that up the night before. I have it already on phone burner the night before. So basically by the time I get to the office, all I gotta do is plug the computer in, hit start, and then boom, and then basically go, right? So like the leads that I've really been buying has been like CRM leads. I'm now just starting to, kind of, diversify and, go with other different leads. I just got on with, I forget the name of that one.
EverQuote.
EverQuote. Yeah. So, but now I'm just starting to try to, try to, like get different type of vendors so I can have multiple streams, so to say.
Perfect. And you are
Mhm.
running all like all life, right? Are you doing any
Yeah.
mortgage
All life.
protection or
All life.
okay.
Yeah. All life. Yeah.
Okay. And so typically on your dial days or for your run days, I should say, how many appointments have you set and how many are you running for your run days per day?
So for my run days, I've been kind of sitting at this like 12 to 13. I've been and my whole goal is to get to at least 20, right? Especially when you go to like certain towns, right? You have certain towns that like they're like a mile away. Like there's no reason why you shouldn't be trying to stack up that day with at least 12 appointments because they're only just a mile away, right? So I try to get my goal is at least 20. But I've been sitting at like maybe 12 to 13. And then on my run days, I'm actually seeing at least 8 people. I'm seeing about 8 or 9 people some days. Yeah.
Okay. So you have, listening to you on the phones, you've gotten better and better and better over time. I think that you've had some of the funniest things or rudest things, I should say, that people have said to you that you and I have laughed about. And I think being brand new, going back to, the very beginning, how did you feel picking up the phone for the first time? What was your attitude about it compared to how it is now?
So in the beginning, the phone did feel like 100 pounds, right? Because
Hmm.
because like you listen to the calls, right? Like you listen to the actual live dials, and you think, okay, I got this, until you actually have to call somebody. The phone feel like 100 pounds, especially if you're dialing. So for me, it was I knew I can do it, but it was like that whole like I was scared because that first dial, and all of a sudden someone pick up, and then that first rebuttal, and now you're like, uh, uh, okay, bye. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even like, it was so many people I really could have set. But if they said one rebuttal, I'm like hanging up. I'm like, okay, bye. Click, okay, bye. I already got a policy. Okay, bye. And like, I'm not interested. Okay, bye. To where now it's like I have a different attitude. I used to not. I used to have a mentality like I couldn't stand the dial days, and I think that's a bad attitude to have, right? So now I changed my mentality to where it's like I love dial days, right? I love to get cussed out. A couple times I get the F word. It's okay, I'll take it. It's not gonna kill me, right? So So basically, I will get those FUs and stuff like that, which is fine. So that means you're working, right? So if you don't get cussed out, you're not working. And so basically now I can handle objections much better. My script is much better. Everything is better now. And so even me setting appointments is much better. I have more quality appointments, which I like. I may tend to be on the phone setting an appointment a little longer than most, but I noticed that they remember me, okay? Because trust me, when I show up, they be like, Sam? Like, yeah, so that's how I like to set it. Yeah.
Okay, so I know we went through this when we were at training, but for those of us, or for those people that are on this call right now that weren't able to make it to the Zoom or didn't make it to the actual live event that we had, can you just kind of run through your phone script? Because I think that listening to you have the most tie downs that I think that I've heard anybody really do when they're talking to their clients. But the thing that tie downs do is definitely it limits the amount of no shows that you have, because these people, let's just go through it. And for those that don't even know what a tie down is, we'll talk about that too. So let's just start at the beginning. If you can call me, I'll be your client. We're going to run through this, no objections, but let's just hear your script.
Okay. All right. So ring.
Hello.
Renee?
Yes.
Hey, Renee. Hi, it's Samika Williams, and I'm the local licensed field underwriter here in Harris County. And the reason for my call is I'm getting back to you regarding your request. You wanted some information for the state regulated life insurance program where you put your date of birth as September 25th, 1965. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, perfect. And then here I see that you stated that you are about 5'4" and about 185 pounds. And you say you don't smoke. Is that all accurate?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. And then here I see that you're staying at a 123 Main Street. Is that still current?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. So again, Renee, I'm getting back to you regarding this request. And so, but I don't see it here, Renee. Are you single or are you married?
Single.
Single? Okay, perfect. So again, Renee, as it stated on the form, it stated that this is a non-medical program, okay? So all that means is that there's no requirement for you to have to go to a doctor to get a physical, and a nurse does not have to come out, draw blood, poke a prod, or do none of that type of stuff, okay? And the only thing that they require us to do is to send out a licensed agent like myself to, one, verify you are who you say you are, and then two, that no one's trying to commit insurance fraud in your name, okay? Now, Renee, do they still have you working, or are you retired or disabled?
No, I'm still working.
Okay, perfect. So Renee, I will be out in the area tomorrow servicing about 10 other families with the same request. So I don't have a whole lot of time, but I can squeeze you in between appointments. What time are you typically home from work?
About 3:30.
3:30? Okay, perfect. So I don't have a 3:30, but I either have a 4 or a 5. Which one would you prefer?
We could do 4:00.
Okay, 4. Okay, perfect. So Renee, go grab a pen and paper so I can give you my information so you can have it on file.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. So again, my name is Samika Williams. I go by Sam. So you can do SAM, and last name is Williams.
Okay.
Okay. And then my state license number is 256-9922.
Okay.
And the confirmation code, just give it a little second. It's loading right now. Just give it a little second. Takes a little while. All right. So in the confirmation code is M as in Mary, 23, and V as in Victor. Now, Renee, repeat that back to me, please, so I can make sure you have everything accurate.
Okay. 256-9922. And M as in Mary, 23V.
Perfect. Okay. And so again, our appointment will be tomorrow, which is Friday, and that's going to be on the 28th. And then I will be there between 4 and 5:30. All I ask is just give me an hour and a half window due to traffic and prior appointments, but I will be there. Okay. Now this address here, that 123 Main Street, is that an apartment or is that a home?
Oh, that's an apartment.
Okay, perfect. What is your apartment number?
2402.
Okay, 2402, perfect. And then what's the name of your apartment?
Somerville Apartments.
Perfect. And then, so is there a guard gate code I need to go through? What's the gate code?
The gate code is going to be pound 1234.
Perfect. And then are you on the third floor, second floor, first floor? Where's that?
I'm on the bottom floor, first floor.
Okay, perfect. And then what's the number of your building?
I'm in building 1.
Okay, perfect. And then as far as parking, is there visitor parking or can I park anywhere?
No, you can park anywhere.
Okay, perfect. Now Renee, so is there any dog I need to be aware of? Are you gonna have your dog up?
Just a small one.
Okay, perfect. So now Renee, just to be a steward of my time, your time, and other clients that I'm seeing, is there any reason why you cannot make that appointment between 4:30 and 5?
No, I'll definitely be here.
Okay, perfect. So again, Renee, my name is Samika Williams, and I will be arriving Friday at 4, in between 4 and 5:30. I will have my state license around my neck. I will have my face mask on, but I wear glasses with really curly hair, so you can't miss me. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All righty, then. See you then.
All right, thank you.
All right,
Boom. So let's go through a couple of things, and I want to dissect that phone script real quick, okay?
Okay.
But let's start with it. I want everybody to really notice to your cadence. You're not talking fast. Your tone is very neutral. You're
Mhm.
not overly excited when you're talking to these people. You almost sound kind of bored. Like you're just doing your job because your job is to just book these appointments and go see the people. You're not an overly excited person trying to make a sale.
Mhm.
So I feel like tone is very important, especially when we're speaking to seniors, because that's majority of the people that we're talking to are they're older, and you talk very slow and you reiterate over and over again that they are the ones who requested the information. And you really, when you say you requested, so you stress that they're the ones that requested the information, right?
Mhm.
So I hope you guys are taking notes on all of this because this is very, very important. And also, the tone, when I'm dialing and I talk to people, I like to match the tone of the person that I'm speaking with. So if it is an older person that we're talking to, slow and steady. You don't want to talk fast because they're going to be like, wait, hold on. What did you say? So you'll end up having to repeat yourself 2 or 3 times in order to just get that message across, and they're completely confused. So I like how slow, steady, and how you reiterate that they are the ones that requested the information. And also there was something else that you were doing. That's awesome. The way that you, I purposely said that I was in an apartment, or reiterated that we were in an apartment because there's so many things that you have to get. And I think that after you go to an appointment, you realize it's an apartment and you didn't re-verify the apartment number because it wasn't on the lead. You pull up and you're like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a problem. You call the client, you still have no idea what number unit that they're in. So you're just at this apartment and you've wasted a trip, and it becomes like, a reschedule, no show, whatever, if you could ever get back in touch with that client. So I like how you went through, you asked for important things on how to guide you there. So it really made the client visualize you coming into that gate, where you're going, exactly what you're doing. So it just, all those things are what we call tie downs. You ask for the name of the apartment complex, you ask for gate codes, where to park, what building you're in. And that's not just helping you find exactly where you're going when you get to the apartment, but it's also helping solidify the appointment to the client to show that, okay, I'm picturing this person having to do all this in order to get to my unit. So perfect, the way that you did that. And you also make them write it down. That's another tie down, guys. So when we say tie down, these are all things that we're doing to just solidify the appointment, because it's amazing how many people don't show up at their own house for an appointment, right? You're not meeting them anywhere. It's at their own house and they're not there. Oh, honey, I forgot. But the more tie downs that you do, the more it solidifies an appointment. So I do like that you make them write it down. It also, you're building credibility while you're on the phone with these people by giving them your state license number. And then also saying that when you get there, you have your badge around your neck. and you always wear your Family First Life shirt. So it's just constantly, even before you're there and you're knocking on the door, it creates more credibility by the time that you walk in. So I love all of that. And so definitely, you guys, I hope you took a lot of notes in that part right there. So let's talk about what you're doing when you go inside of the home. If people, okay, before we even do this part though, the in-home, how much training do you listen to on a daily basis? Like, what is your routine when it comes to training?
So I listen to training every single day. When I'm in a car, when I'm in the home. I love to listen to Eric Schmidt in home. Like, if you're not listening to that when you go to sleep, when you wake up, when you're driving, and you're doing yourself a disservice. So I listen to him over and over and over and over again. I'm quite obsessive, so I can be very, very much, but I listen to it over and over and over again. I listen to other things on YouTube. So that's how I pick up certain little things, and I add it here, I add it there. So I listen to it every day.
Good. So you've turned off the music in your car, right? Because it's cool when you know the lyrics to the songs on the radio, but it's not cool when you don't know the lyrics to the song when you're sitting inside of somebody's home. So now let's talk about the lyrics to your songs of what your in-home looks like.
Okay. So for me, when, like, before I get to the home, I always clear my mind, right? Because the next client, you cannot bring that same baggage to the next person, right? Because they don't know what you've been through, right? So basically when I get to the home, all I have is my iPad in my hand and then my actual backpack, because I use my iPad electronically. I do everything on my iPad. So I get to the home, I knock on the door, I always say their name. I say, "Hey, Sally," and then basically as she's opening the door, I'm basically walking in. So I'm like, "Hey, yeah, shoes on or off," right? So then from there, I build my rapport as I'm just walking through the home. I say, "Oh, you have a nice picture." Boo, boo, boo. So, and I say, "Okay, where's the kitchen table?" And so then, they walk me to the kitchen table. Well, I basically walk them. And then I walk to the kitchen table. I tell them, well, sit here, sit here. If it's a couple, make sure that they are sitting next to each other. Don't have the couples on opposite ends, because turning your head is just not it. I like to look people in their eye. So basically we sit down, I go straight into it. So for me, I say, "Okay, again, my name is Samika Williams, and I work for a company called Family First Life. And I see about 120 families a month, about 30 families a week, and I put about 1,400 miles on my car a week. And I've helped 4 families in this morning, and then I have 7 more after you. But I'm here with you right now, and I love my family to be here with your family. So basically, why don't you share with me a little bit of why you feel this out, so I know how best to guide you." And so now if they fence, like they don't know what to say, granted, sometimes they just go straight into it. Now, if they don't know what they're trying to say, I basically guide them. I say, "Okay, look, there's 3 things into reason why you may have feel this out. One, either you have insurance, no, either someone have just recently died, that you have insurance, but you just looking for more, or is it that you don't have any coverage at all?" 9 times out of 10, they don't have any coverage at all. Perfect. Okay. So basically I say, "Okay, so in the event that something were to happen yesterday, who is that person that's going to be here to pick up the pieces?" So, and I'm waiting for that person. So they may say, "Oh, my daughter, Susan." Okay, perfect. So is Susan living in Texas? Is Susan living outside of Texas? Does Susan have to leave, leave her home, come over here, make sure everything is taken care of? If she's able to keep this home, does she need to move everything out this home? Like, what does that look like? Because I'm like, and I really want them to understand the headache of this, right? So basically they'll be like, "Oh, well, and Susan, she lives in Nebraska, and then but she has to come down here and make sure everything taken care of, and the house is already paid for." Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. So basically I say, "Okay, so Susan will have to leave her job, do everything in her hometown to come down here to make sure it's everything okay." So I take it that you are wanting to make sure that Susan does not have that burden, to make sure that you are taken care of, correct? They say yes. I say, "Okay, so in the event something were to happen to you yesterday, is it that you want to make sure that you are taken care of, or is it that you want to leave something for Susan?" Oh yeah, I want to leave a little bit for Susan. Okay, perfect. So, Mary, just to recap, in the event that something was to happen to you yesterday, you want to make sure that Susan does not have that burden to make sure that you are taken care of. Correct? Correct. Okay, perfect. Now, this is now, but I'm gonna pause right there. At this moment, everybody should be really active listeners, right? Because when you're talking to people, people kind of over talk, people trying to say extra things. So then basically you need to write that down, because in the event that she would have said, okay, well, yeah, because I just buried my sister and then, but nobody helped and it was such a burden. So then now I'm writing it down. I had to bury my sister and it was a financial burden, right? So basically, if they say that, I would throw it back at them like, okay, so in the event that something happened to you yesterday, you want to make sure Susan does not have that burden that was put on you when you had to bury your own sister, correct? And they say yes. Okay, perfect. So first thing first, I just want to commend you for actually taking the step to get this done at the age 54. And believe it or not, a lot of people are not in this. And so for you to actually take that step to do it now, but I tip my hat off to you. Now, basically this is how the rest of the application is going to go. First thing first, I'm going to show you my state license ID. Not that I'm required to, but most people like to know that they're working with a licensed agent. And then secondly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you all the A-listed carriers that I am contracted with, and some of them that you are familiar with. But but all these carriers I have to get background check on, so they just don't let anyone represent their product, okay? And then thirdly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you just a few basic health questions and a few basic financial questions. For the financial questions, it's for us to work together to find something comfortable and affordable for your budget. Because at the end of the day, it does not make sense to find something that's too expensive for you that you cannot sustain long term. And then all of a sudden, when you need it the most, you couldn't sustain it. So I want to make it very clear that I'm not here for me. I am here for you. Okay. And then for the health questions, I always tell all my clients to be honest with me, okay? Because they're going to use your social, which is tied to your prescription history. So it does not make any sense to lie to me, because they will see 7-8 years back, okay? And then this is not a credit check, okay? And then next after that, what we're going to do is we're going to find a carrier that will carry you for your situation, find something comfortable and affordable for your situation. And then from there, that's when we will complete the rest of your application, which includes your banking or routing information. Okay. And then from there, I will see if I can get your approval while I'm in the home. Okay. Does that all make sense? Okay, perfect. Shall we proceed? Perfect. And then from there, I write everything that I pull everything out. I show my lead sheet. I show my credibility sheet. I show, and then from there, I just fill out the final expense form, blah, 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 fill all that out, get all the, and then get all the, get all the prescription history, get all that type of stuff, get all the pills, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fast forward. So then now after I get all that, I ask them, I said, no, and then, but I tell them, I say, okay, well, I have an idea of a carrier that will carry you for your. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, pause, because there was a lot that was just said in everything that you did. First, I will tell everybody, YouTube, like you said, Eric Schmidt in home. Okay, so you have literally listened to his in home to the point where you have become a stamp duplicate of him.
Yes.
Okay. But in a Samika version, which I absolutely love. And you definitely learn the lyrics to that song, and it's showing because it's showing in your issue paid numbers for sure. I do like that you have so much structure in the home, but the thing that you do very, very well is you're able to pull out that person's why, and that is the focus of the appointment, not so much their financials or their health history. And you've really painted this picture of, man, this is going to be rough for Susie, my daughter, if she has to take care of all of this stuff. So you've definitely broken that out, and you've pulled out the people's why to a point where they have a mental image in their head of what it looks like when they're leaving and the kind of mess that they're going to leave if they don't have the coverage in place. So definitely created a strong desire and reason why, which is big because people buy on emotion as well. People don't really buy on logic, but if you could tie that emotion into the point where even people are in your face crying, and I've seen that happen a couple of times too, they're much more willing and move through the process with you. So I think that's excellent. I hope you guys take notes if you missed any of this. So you want to hear all of this over again, just go to Eric Schmidt in home. This is a copycat business. There's no secrets here. You can do exactly what she's doing, what he's doing, to duplicate that in the home, because it's a perfect way of creating that structure. I also like that they already know from the beginning a social is required. So there's no hesitation because you've already asked permission and you've told them why. But you've told them that you need the social. You've also discussed with them as far as the banking and the routing information is going to be needed in order to process the application. Because I don't know how many times all of us at one point in time when we didn't have that structure have sat in a house, gone through this whole spiel, putting in all their information, and you've been with this client for 45 minutes and you get to the part where, okay, I need your bank account information. And guess what? They don't have a bank. It's real, y'all. It happens all the time. So especially just with the type of clientele that we're dealing with, and a lot of them are on fixed incomes and are on Social Security. And if you don't establish from the beginning what type of payment forms that they have, because there's certain carriers that will only take Direct Express, or there's certain carriers that, you know, absolutely require the account with a banking and routing information on there. So that I just, girl, that is amazing. But now we're going to get to my favorite part, because I know that, you know, just like you were saying, 9 times out of 10, you do know what carrier these people are going to end up going with. But I get excited when my phone rings and I see that it's you, because you're calling me from in the home, because I just love how you, the way that you lead with the client's reason why. So now that's where I paused you at. And I'm going to unpause you and I'm hitting play now. So go ahead and tell me what you do from in home when you're calling.
Okay. So now I'm about to call Renee. I say, I'm bringing it back a little bit. So I say, well, I know, yeah, but I have an idea of a carrier that will carry you for your situation. However, but I would like to reach out to my leads, into my lead field underwriter, so we can put you in the best situation possible. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So I called. But I call Renee, ring, Renee.
Hello.
Hey, Samika.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, say, hey, Renee. So I'm sitting here with Susan. Susan is 65 years young. Okay. So now Susan's whole goal is to make sure that her daughter, Stacy, does not go through that same burden that was put on her when it was time for her to bury her sister. But she know all too well how much of a burden that is when you don't have the funds to bury someone. Okay. And so basically Susan wants to make sure that she leaves a legacy, as well as make sure she don't put that burden on Stacy. Okay. Now Susan, she prefer burial. She's a non-smoker. And then Susan has high blood pressure. She has and cholesterol, and then she has diabetes, and then she's taking metformin. And so basically, which carrier you believe that we should go with?
Perfect. So she definitely led with the reason why. Samika knows that client is appropriate for American Eagle Premier, but what she's doing when she's calling and reiterating just repeating what that client has already said to her, what are they doing in front of you when you're telling me their why? Doing this number, right?
Yeah.
Shaking their head. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I said. They feel that you have listened, because so many people talk with people not listening to them. And you really listening to the reason why really shows that you're there for them and not there to make a sale, because we're not salespeople. Right. So we're field underwriters and we're out there to protect people and protect their families. So I really like that you lead with the reason why, but it's more of a psychological thing when you're calling and repeating that and them hearing it for themselves, the reasons why they need this. And it just solidifies again that, and this probably is going to be more so of a long lasting client. It takes your rate of your chargebacks way down, because you are leading with their reasons why. So love that. and again, we know that it's going to be appropriate for a Miracle Eagle Premier with those type of issues, but it's good that you call and you call from every single home just so that client could hear themselves, you repeating their reason why. So I love that. And so especially because we do have so many new people here too, when you're going through the process of your quoting, how many different prices are you giving them? And like, what does that look like? Do you start from the highest number, work their way down? I know you say that you're definitely going to be working within their budget because it doesn't make sense to give them something they can't afford. So where do you start at normally when you're price and quoting somebody?
So I always show them the max, and I always tell them, I always show people the max so they can know where, like where the range is, right? So they can see.
Hold on, Mika, you're breaking up. Hello?
Are you breaking up, Renee? Can everybody hear Renee?
Oh, sorry. I muted myself.
Okay, no. So you said you always show them the max.
Okay, so and I always show them the max, and I say I always show all my clients the max so you can see where you're working at, okay? And then from there, I'll show them more of a median number, and then I would show them like a lower number. So like if it's a Miracle, I'm showing them 30, 20, and then 12.5, right? And then before I show them the sheet, I always tell them, now I want you, it doesn't matter the number, be honest with me. If it's too high, let me know. If it's too low, let me know. But we can work with you. You just have to let me know so I can find something that's comfortable and affordable for your budget. I showed them the quotes. Then from there, and then from there, I don't say anything. I say, okay, well, and then, but you know your budget better than I do. 9 times out of 10, I will pick it to where it is within their budget. Like if I see a 25 and that's way beyond their budget, I go a little bit lower because I want to make it make sense. Does that make sense? I want it to make it like, okay, I can do that, opposed to like, whoa, that's too much, right?
Right.
So basically I showed them that. I be quiet. I don't try to talk them into it, because if you try to talk too much, remember, you're going to talk yourself out of the sale. So if you just be quiet and say, hey, well, you know your budget better than I do. So like there have been times they sat there and look, couples just sitting there looking. And then all of a sudden 9 times out of 10, they'll pick the middle one. Sometimes they may pick the lower. And then sometimes because I kept that open communication, they'll be like, well, these are too high. Okay, perfect. So I can show you even lower. Like I even went down to a 5,000. I said, look, we can go as low as 5,000. If that's within your budget, that's within your budget. And then granted, I'll get a sale because at that point, they notice that I'm not there to get a sale, right? I'm there to get something comfortable and affordable for them. And so basically, so that creates an open communication amongst adults, right? Because, people are funny with money, right? People act funny. People don't know how to act. People kind of get like quiet and all kind of stuff like that. So if you actually find something that's truly comfortable for them, they will buy it. And then at the end of the day, you have to think about the long game, right? Because if you get someone just trying to force them for a sale, you're going to get a charge back. But if you get something that's comfortable within their range, then basically they will keep that. And then now you have a long-term client. Don't worry about the money, because the money going to come. If you leave with your heart, the heart touches the heart. So if you leave with your heart and treat these people as if they are your mother or your grandmother, then basically they feel that, they sense that. And then at the end of the day, you will have a long-term client. Hell, I have clients that call me just checking on me. I'm like, hey, right? or they will call me and say, hey, Samika, and my bank account closed down, but I want to make sure that I, stay on top of my life insurance coverage. So I need to change it. Okay, perfect. So then that's how you know you're going to have a long-term client. Just saying.
Right. No, I hope everybody got all this stuff down, because this was golden. And it was very exciting to hear you go through this process of what you do, even at the training live. So I appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with us. But